Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear student, we are going to explain a new lesson. Listen to me carefully. Okay. This lesson is titled by Preparing of Common Salt. Preparing of Common Salt. Okay. All people think about sodium chloride is the common salt. But there are many different salts and some of them are wide range uses. We are going to explain some of the example of these salts. Number one, calcium chloride. Calcium chloride. Number two, zinc sulfate. So the common salt is common name, not related to sodium chloride only, but there are many salts rather than sodium chloride widely used and also very important, like calcium chloride, and zinc sulfate. Calcium chloride, the properties of calcium chloride is white crystals. White crystal. Uses calcium chloride used as drying agent as absorbs the moisture from the air. So it's used as drying agent. Why? Because it absorbs the moisture from the air. Again, calcium chloride is properties white crystal. White crystal. The first use of calcium chloride used as drying agent. Why the sodium calcium chloride used as drying agent? Because it absorbs the moisture from the air. The second use used in food processing. Number three, used in speeding up the setting of concrete. Again, there are three uses of calcium chloride. Drying agent to absorb the moisture from the air, used in food processing, and used in speeding up the setting of concrete. Okay? Zinc sulfate. The second example is called zinc sulfate. Its physical properties is white crystal. White crystal. It's used to making cosmetic and deodorant, the textile material like Roin and Glow. Roin and Glow. So zinc sulfate used in making cosmetic, some deodorant, the textile material like Roin and Glow, used as herbicide and treatment of sewage. Treatment of sewage. Herbicide and treatment of sewage. Okay? Now, the common salt is common name for many salts, not related to sodium chloride only. But there are many salts widely range and widely used, like sodium chloride. Example of these salts: calcium chloride, zinc sulfate. The parts of calcium chloride, white crystals. It used as drying agent and used for food processing and setting of concrete. Okay, but zinc, the other example is called zinc sulfate. The parts of zinc sulfate, white crystals. It used to making cosmetic and some deodorant and the textile material like Roin and Glow, used as herbicide and treatment of sewage. Now I'll finish from this point. Anyone has A question, please raise your hand. Yes, Roba,
Mister, what is herbicide?
please raise your voice.
I asked what is herbicide?
I don't hear anything. Please, please raise your hand, raise your voice.
Yes, Mister, do you hear me?
You want to repeat again? I don't hear you well.
Yes, Mister, do you hear me?
Yes?
Okay, what is the meaning of herbicide?
Herbicide mean killing of insect. A chemical killing insects.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
It is a chemical killing insect. Herbicide. Okay. This is the first point. We are going to the second point. Acid and their acid and their salts. Acid and their salts. The second point in this lesson called acids and their salts. There are three acids that can be used to make salts. Number one, hydrochloric acid. Number two, sulfuric acid. Number three, nitric acid. So the most common acids used to make salts are hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid. The salts produced by these acids are called, from hydrochloric acid called chloride, from sulfuric acid called sulfate, from nitric acid called nitrate. Again, the most three acids used to make salt: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. The salts produced by these acids are called, from hydrochloric acid called chloride, from sulfuric acid is called sulfate, from nitric acid is called nitrate. Okay? Again, the salt produced from hydrochloric acid is called chloride. The salt produced from sulfuric acid is called sulfate. The salt produced from nitric acid is called nitrate. Understand now? We are going to explain the first salt from metal, produced from metal and acid. Preparing the salt from metal and acid. Preparing salts from metal and acid. When the metal react with acid, it produces salt and hydrogen. It is a common equation. When metal react with acid, it produces salt and hydrogen. Example, preparation of zinc oxide, chloride, zinc chloride. Preparation of zinc chloride. Tools: flask, beaker, filter, funnel, flame, and petri dish, granulated zinc, and hydrochloric acid. Again, the tools used in this experiment: flask, beaker, filter, funnel, flame, petri dish, granulated zinc, and hydrochloric acid. The procedures: number one, Listen to me carefully. Preparation of zinc chloride. Preparation of zinc chloride from when the metal react with acid, there is formation of salt and hydrogen. Listen to me. Granulated zinc is added to hydrochloric acid in flask. The first here is this flask. Okay. In this flask, we add amount of zinc and HCl. Zinc here is in form of small particle and HCl. Observation, there is bubble erased from the flask and escape to the air. Okay. The second, the content of this flask filtered in filter funnel. This is funnel. Okay. And this is hold, catch this funnel, and there is a beaker down under the funnel. Okay, and put here filter paper. We are going to pour the content of the flask inside into the funnel filter funnel. Observation, there is liquid dropped inside the beaker, okay, and there is residues here found in the filter paper, up in the filter paper. This residues is zinc particle, okay, and this zinc chloride solution. Okay, we are take this content of zinc, this solution which found in the beaker, and put it in petri dish found above the flame. This is a flame, and there is petri dish, evaporating petri dish. And put the powder, the solution here, and apply burning of the flame. The burning evaporation of the solution, when the complete evaporation of the solution, there is solid particle found in the dish. This solid particle is called zinc chloride. Zinc chloride. Again, we are going to make simple experiment to prepare zinc chloride. Zinc chloride is an example of how metal react with acid. How metal react with acid to produce salt and hydrogen. As the first, put zinc particle with hydrochloric acid in flask. Okay. Observation, there is bubbles of hydrogen is erased and escape into the air. Until this bubble no more produced, take the content of flask and pour it into filter funnel which contain filter paper. Observation, there is a liquid drop are falling into the beaker which put it under the filter funnel, and there is particle trapped in this filter paper. Take this content or this liquid and pour into evaporating dish, and apply the flame. You are waiting until all liquid is evaporated. Leave solid particle in dish. This solid particle is sodium zinc chloride. Okay, this is the experiment. If anyone want to understand, please raise your hand. Mariam? Yes,
I have
Mariam?
about the preparation of zinc chloride. Is the reaction an exothermic reaction?
Is A?
Is this reaction an exothermic reaction?
Exothermic or endothermic?
Yes.
No, no exothermic reaction. Because it did not produce heat. Okay? Right.
Okay.
Any question else? The procedures
No.
are decide the procedure? Mariam. Okay, Mariam. Lana?
Yes. My problem is with this experience.
Experiment?
Sorry. Yes.
Yes. Repeat again?
Yes, please.
Okay, listen to me carefully.
Okay.
As the first, in the flask we put zinc particle with hydrochloric acid. Observation, there is bubbles arrested from the reaction between zinc and hydrochloric acid. These bubbles, hydrogen bubbles, escape into the air. We wait until the bubble are no more formation of bubbles. Okay, and take the content in the flask and pour it into funnel, filter funnel. Okay. Observation: there is liquid falling down into the beaker. Put it under the filter funnel, and there is a particle trapped above on the filter paper. Take the solution found in beaker and put it in evaporating dish. Evaporating dish put above flame. Okay. Evaporating dish, we wait until the all solution evaporate. There is solid particle left in the dish. This solid particle is the zinc chloride. Understand now?
Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you. Rawan, yes.
Mr. What is the chemical symbol of zinc chloride?
ZnCl. I read here.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay. Roba, again. Roba, what your question?
Sorry, Mr. I raised my hand by wrong.
Okay. Now there is any question from boys? Or boys understand this experiment? Okay. Now we are going to the second experiment. Preparation of salt from metal carbonate and an acid. Again, preparing a salt from metal carbonate and an acid. This is represented by the following equation: acid plus carbonate, metal carbonate, produce salt carbon dioxide, and water. The example here, preparation of calcium chloride. Preparation of calcium chloride. Tools: flask, beaker, and filter funnel, filter paper, calcium carbonate, and hydrochloric acid. As the same in the preceding experiment, we do this experiment also. Listen to me. This is a flask again. What in the flask? Hydrochloric acid and some of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a form of chips, marble chips. Okay, is a solid form of calcium carbonate. This is a reaction between calcium carbonate and hydrochloric acid, and there is bubble produced in this reaction. Okay, take the content, wait until there is no bubble and no formula, and take the content into filter funnel. Filter funnel. Okay, and put inside the filter funnel filter paper. Our content here, observation, there is water, this liquid drop from the filter funnel to the beaker, and there is residue trapped on the filter paper. This is excess of marble chips. Okay, take this content and put it evaporating dish. Okay, and wait to evaporate all solution in the dish. There is solid particle formed. It is calcium chloride. Okay, it is the same procedure as it preparing salt from metal. Again, how to prepare a salt from metal carbonate and acid. Calcium carbonate in form of marble chips. This is a solid particle of calcium carbonate. Put with hydrochloric acid in the flask. Then there is a gas bubbles produced. In this case, we take the content of flask and power it filter funnel. Observation: there is a liquid falling to the beaker, which put it under the funnel filter. Take the content of solution and put it in evaporating dish. Apply flame. With observation, there is a solid particle found in the dish. This is calcium carbonate. This is our lesson today. If anyone don't understand this point, please raise your hand. Yes. Rawan. Yes, Rawan.
Mister, can you please write the equation of this reaction?
Okay. Calcium.
Thank you.
By symbol or by what?
By symbols.
Okay. no calcium. Calcium carbonate plus hydrochloric acid give calcium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. Put to balancing of equation, put here 2. Okay, so there is carbon, oxygen, there is 2 and 2, very good. Okay, go on. This is the equation, understand this? Understand? Go on, this is the
Yes,
equation.
mister.
Calcium,
Yes.
calcium carbonate, Ca, okay? CaCO3, 2HCl, hydrochloric acid, reduce calcium chloride, CaCl2, and plus CO2, carbon dioxide, plus water, H2O. Understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, mister.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mariam.
Does water form in the reaction of acids and metals?
Water.
Yes.
Yes, water is formed and evaporating during applying heat.
So it's not HCl that is found while we're filtering, right?
Yes, we
It's
apply evaporation process to contain the solid particle of calcium chloride.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ruba? Yes, Ruba?
Yes, mister, can you repeat this experiment of calcium chloride?
Yeah. Please raise your voice.
Mister, can you repeat the experiment of the calcium chloride?
Repeat the calcium chloride experiment.
Yes, please.
Okay. Listen to me carefully, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I will repeat the calcium experiment of calcium chloride again. Now, in this flask, put calcium carbonate in form of marble chips. Marble chips is a solid form of calcium carbonate with amount of HCl. Okay. There is bubbles of gas are raised and escape in the air. We wait until there is no bubbles of gas released. So then take this content of flask and pour it into funnel filter. Funnel filter contain filter paper. Observation: there is a liquid escape from the filter funnel to the beaker, and there is particle of marble chips trapped on the filter paper. Take this solution and put it in evaporating dish and apply heat and wait until there is no solution in the petri dish. Observation: there is a solid particle found in the bottom of the dish. This solid particle is called calcium carbonate. You understand now?
Yes, mister, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we are finished this lesson. Any question? There is no question. Any question from boys? Okay, thank you. I finish this meeting. See you soon and goodbye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.